Good evening. Well, as the Barclays Premiership reaches the business end of the season, two sides remain neck and neck up the home straight. Well, two dark horses joining me in the studio, Alan and Mark. Alan, who do you fancy to lift the title at this stage?
Well, because they're on top and they're winning games, not only are they winning games, but they're not losing games. There are more points than all the sides in the league below them. You can't really look beyond Manchester United and Arsenal.
That's a fascinating point, Alan. Mark, has anyone else outside of those two caught your eye recently?
Well, I just think the likes of you know, Manchester Cities and your Tottenham Hotspurs and your Chelseas and your Liverpools, I just think they've left it a bit too late, Gary, you know, unless they manage to get some points on the road and, of course, win their own games, anything's possible. But, of course, unless Manchester United and Arsenal completely capitulate and lose all the remaining fixtures, anything's possible. But that's about as likely as, you know, me saying something interesting, I think.
Of course, there's been a lot of controversy and emphasis on foul play recently. Wayne Rooney's elbow and James McCarthy certainly is a case in point. But did he really elbow him on purpose, do you think?
Yeah, absolutely not. And
Absolutely.
Wayne Rooney doesn't do anything wrong as far as I'm concerned. And he's arguably, Gary, the greatest player ever to play the game. And, you know, I don't just say that to satisfy the predominantly English audience watching this BBC programme. I say it because I really mean it, Gary.
Do you think we discuss him enough, Wayne Rooney, or do you think we should dedicate an entire programme to Manchester United and Wayne Rooney and make comments like that goal he scored against Manchester City? If a Brazilian had scored that, we'd be talking about it for decades.
Absolutely, and I'd be the most likely person to actually make that comment, wouldn't I? But I just think he's got everything on his side, hasn't he, Gary? He's still such a young player. He's playing at, you know, such a tender age still. He's like, what, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. You know, he's really got it all going on, Gary, hasn't he?
How important do you think is Rio Ferdinand to Manchester United?
Well, you're talking arguably, Gary, about the best centre-half in world football at the moment, aren't you? And I say that not just because he's English, but, you know, even when he burst onto the scene in sort of 97, 98, 99, sort of 2000, 2001, 2002... You know, he was still, even then, playing with the sort of maturity of what, you sort of 28, 29, 30, 31-year-old, 32, sort of 3, 34, 35, 36-year-old, 37, 38, 39, sort of 40-year-old, really, Gary, 40, you know. And I just don't think there's any doubt about that whatsoever, Gary.
Yeah, well, of course, we're talking about Rio Ferdinand. He's a centre-half. I'm surrounded by centre-halves here. Normally, I'm usually used to running away from them.
In your dreams, Monica. In your dreams.
Yeah. Chance to be a fine thing, Gary, eh?
Let's be blokes.
Chance to be a fine thing, eh?
Let's have a wrestle, guy, and let's be blokes.
Dear,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Banter.
But seriously, Alan, how good is Rio Ferdinand in the overall scheme of world football?
Well, when you're talking about Rio Ferdinand, you're talking about professional football, plays professional football for Manchester United.
Yeah, so is that the end of your point, or are you only halfway through?
Well, the point is, Rio Ferdinand's professional football. He's a professional footballer. He's got everything. He's got a lot. He's quick, he's fast, and he's got pace.
Thanks, Alan. Thanks, Mark. Well, that's all we've got time for on Match of the Day, and on a night when Rooney proved his form was not on the wane, it's a good night from me with a raised eyebrow and a really shit pun. Good night.